Now, today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to announce to you. There was a meeting here on Sunday. There was a meeting here on Monday. The Council of Leaders and the Central Committee instructed me to come and announce to the whole world that this alliance is no longer Tonse Alliance. So those who want to abuse us because of the name Tonse Alliance, sorry chayuma lelo. Allow me on behalf of all the members of the Green Ghost, the members of the various political parties that are in this alliance, and members of the civil society organizations in this alliance, allow me to launch the latest, the most formidable, the one and only alliance that is going to remove Hara India on the 13th of August. Let's launch the new alliance. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Pamodzi Alliance. Tell them we are not Tonse. In fact, today we are Pamodzi Alliance.
It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us for another exciting edition of Conversation at 1. My name is Marco Kwakozi. That was the launch of the PF Tonse Alliance, which of course was led by Given Lubinda. And we are waiting to see what is the way forward after the launch of that particular alliance. And today we discuss can this alliance be the uniting factor of the opposition? That's a topic that we are looking at today, and we'd love to hear from you what your thoughts are on what we are discussing this particular afternoon. You can send your text messages to 0979958392 and let us know what your thoughts are. You're watching us live on channel 277 on DSTV, channel 23 on GoTV. On Topstar, we are on channel 89. While on the StarTimes decoders, we are on channel 543. We're also live on our Facebook page, which is Crown TV Zambia, and of course not forgetting our YouTube channel, which is also Crown TV Zambia. Those are the platforms where you can catch us on. But before we go ahead, let's take a short break.
Zambia inches closer to another election season. The drama within the opposition Patriotic Front appears far from over, with courtrooms increasingly becoming the latest battleground for the party's internal power struggles. The latest twist in the protracted feud has now landed before the Lusaka High Court, where a legal challenge by PF Faction Secretary General Morgan Ngona against Matero Member of Parliament Mao Sampa has collapsed before it could be fully heard. In a ruling delivered on the 3rd of March 2026, Lusaka High Court Judge Concepta Zulu has dismissed the matter for want of prosecution after finding that the case had stalled for months without the applicant taking the necessary steps to advance it. Ngona had taken the matter to court, challenging Sampa's decision made in his capacity as Patriotic Front faction president to remove him from the position of Secretary General. He also wrote a declaration that Sampa's decision to dissolve the party's central committee was illegal, arguing that the material lawmaker did not possess such powers. However, the court has found that Ngona failed to comply with the directions issued on the 26th of March 2025 and subsequently allowed nearly 4 months to pass without taking meaningful steps to move the case forward. Justice Zulu has ruled that the sustained delay, coupled with the failure to apply for an extension of time, created a substantial risk that a fair trial could be secured and that the continued inactivity of the matter was prejudicial to the orderly administration of justice. The court has further held that Ngona's explanation that numerous interlocutory applications had been filed before the main matter could proceed did not constitute sufficient justification for the failure to prosecute the matter. In the case, Sampa also filed a defense and counterclaim in June 2025, asking the court to dismiss the case and restrain Ngona together with Mafinga Member of Parliament Robert Chavinga from holding themselves out as leaders of the Patriotic Front. But the legal fight appears far from over. Following the High Court's decision, Ngona has since filed an appeal challenging the ruling, arguing that the trial judge erred in law and fact by failing to properly consider the interlocutory applications on record. He further contends that the court misdirected itself by dismissing the matter without determining whether the delay in prosecuting the case posed substantial risk of depriving the parties of a fair trial. But Sampa has on the other side opposed Ngona's application to stay the execution of the ruling pending appeal, arguing that Ngona's application for a stay is misconceived and without merit, stating that there is no order or excusable decision arising from the ruling that can be stayed. He contends that Ngona failed to comply with several court orders directed by the court, including filing a defense to the counterclaim, exchanging documents, and submitting witness statements, thereby leaving the matter dormant for an extended period. He also maintains that the appeal has no prospects of success and that the dismissal of the action for want of prosecution was a discretionary decision properly made by the court after considering the conduct of the parties and the procedural history of the case. This development is just another twist in the protracted leadership battle within the Patriotic Front, a dispute that has seen rival factions trade positions, court actions and counter-actions as the country moves closer to the next elections. Reporting for Crown TV News, Anna Mwila in Lusaka.
Thank you very much. So as I said earlier, this is Conversation at One, and we would really love to hear from you what your thoughts are on the issues that we're discussing this particular afternoon. Now, I'm not alone in the studio. Mr. Chomba is here, of course, to help us analyze some of the issues that we have for today. Mr. Chomba, it's always a pleasure to have you around on Conversation. Good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome you too.
No, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's start with the two clips that we've just aired.
Yes.
One was about the judgment, and the other was the launch of the Tonse Alliance. Now let's start with the Pamodzi, PF Pamodzi Alliance. Now let's start with the launch of the Pamodzi Alliance. Do you think that this is the rebranding of the Patriotic Front that we have been talking about, or a genuine attempt for a coalition?
I think what our viewers and those who have followed the history of PF since the return of Edgar Lungu, our sixth president, back into active politics, is that Edgar Lungu wanted the Tonse Alliance. That is, there should be a movement in that is associated with Edgar Lungu in the Tonse Alliance. Now, that's why we saw even Tasila being appointed when Mundubile and Zumani Zimba, who claims that is the man behind the Tonse Alliance, they were able to even appoint Tasila Lungu to be part and parcel of them. But to break away and form Pamodzi raises certain questions whether Mr. Lubinda, given Lubinda, and all those who are supporting him and those that he has appointed to the Central Committee have departed from the vision of Edgar Lungu, so to say. So if it's rebranding, then we are yet to see so many matters unfolding. That is, what is the status or what is the state of PF? Is it now in two parts or three? Because we have seen Mr. Mundubile, Brian Mundubile, associate with FDD. So do we have other heavyweights in the Pamodzi alliance apart from the Lubinda faction of the PF? So it's a very interesting situation that we find ourselves in. Yeah.
The other issue that comes was the issue to do with Honorable Mundubile.
Yes.
And how does the Mundubile faction now react to the formation of the Pamodzi alliance? Don't they feel that they are excluded?
We are yet to see what happens. The Mundubile faction has made so many appointments. Stephen Kampiongo, we have, is it Melody, this MP, the lady from the East, who is a journalist. She has been, she's holding certain position. The Brian Mundubile has also appointed so many members of parliament. For example, Ichaba Iche is in the National Campaign Committee. We have the chairman, who is Davis Chisopa, a member of parliament. Now, whether Mr. Lubinda is able to carry those members who have joined Mr. Mundubile, that's another issue, because it may leave him under the bus. That is Mr. Brian Mundubile. But if Mr. Mundubile is able to maintain those members he has appointed from the PF, it will be good for him. But assuming that problems arise in the FDD, then it becomes a problem again. So it's a situation of wait and see, because at the moment, we don't, even in the Pamodzi Alliance, we don't know if they are going to have a convention. But Mr. Mundubile, I think he's on thin ice in terms of his hold on the Tonse Alliance, Tonse Alliance with the FDD. But we are yet to see what happens as we go from here.
Is the alliance about defeating the UPND, or it's a survival for the internal wrangles that we have seen?
All the alliances, what they are talking about is we have formed an alliance, we are going to win elections, let's remove the UPND and all those things. While the UPND are talking about the programs that they have implemented, on the other side, the alliances, Brian Mundubile, Given Lubinda, the Zambia we want, they are just talking about, oh, let's remove. But it's up to Zambians when they are listening to all these messages to make up their mind in terms of do we go for the people who are campaigning based on let's remove the ruling party, or do we go for a political party, an alternative, which is going to talk about alternative programs to the ruling party? So if it's just a matter of removing one political party and putting another one, then Zambians should blame themselves if nothing happens in the next 5 years, or what happens is retribution, and also trying for people or the next alliance to just be in power and say, we promised you that we are going to remove this political party. So we never promised you any programs. So that would be the situation.
Now, what do you think, or why do you think that the previous Tonse Alliance had all these confusions, and what makes Pamodzi now different?
I think Tonse had problems because, in fact, the problems came in after the death of our sixth president. It's like he held and he was able to talk to various political parties to form an alliance. But just after his death, I think because everyone in the alliance thought, oh, he picked me. The fact that he talked to me, which means I'm the one who is supposed to be the presidential candidate. So the problems arose from that discussion. in the Pamodzi alliance, apart from leaders who are coming from the PF, if you are talking about Given Lubinda, you are talking about Mao Sampa, you are talking about Chishimbaka Mwili, you are talking about Makebi Zulu, you are talking about Monde. All these are PF. So there is no other political party where you can say this is a political heavyweight. We have heard this person before. So if Tonse is going to unite, it can only unite these big political heavyweights of it was PF, and still Pamodzi means they should stick together and form structures based on the people who are PF members. Yeah.
You are watching Conversation at 1, and of course we were just trying to break down today's topic, which is can Given Lubinda's PF Pamodzi Alliance unite the opposition? What do you think? You can send your text messages to the number that is on your screens. It is 0979-958392. You can get in touch with us and let us know what your thoughts are on that particular topic that we are looking at this particular afternoon. Shortly, we are going to be opening the phone lines to allow you to call us and give us your thoughts on what we are discussing this particular afternoon. You can also go to our Facebook page, which is Crown TV Zambia. Go to the comment section and leave your contributions there. We'll be more than happy to hear what your thoughts are as regards what we are discussing on this particular platform. For now, let's take a look at what is in the papers this afternoon. And remember also, as we share with you these papers, you can get in touch with us by sending your text messages to 0979-958392. Let us know what you think about these papers that we are going to, the stories that we are going to be sharing from the papers. That is the Diggers newspaper this afternoon. It leads with a story, Reject Old Men. So it says, reject old men. They will abuse you and go back to their wives. HH warns girls. That's the lead story in the Diggers newspaper. You can send your text messages to 0979-958392 and let us know what your thoughts are as regards that story. Other stories in the Diggers newspaper. I can easily win Munali, but people in Malambo want me, Mposha. It's another story there that is making the headlines in the Diggers newspaper. Other stories in the Diggers, some miners are frustrating local content SI suppliers. That's another story there. That is making the headlines in the Diggers newspaper. Other stories in the Diggers this afternoon. SZ warns against illegal naming of constituencies. It's another story that is making the headlines. The other one says, we don't sacrifice our lives for politics. Nkandu tells Sangwa. It's another story there that is making the headlines. So those are the stories that are in the Diggers newspaper this particular afternoon. Mr. Chomba, what do you make of the Diggers?
It's a good headline, the president advising that, in fact, it's a directive. Can you leave old men so that you concentrate on school? They'll go back. But for a newspaper, I think they could have added one word there, reject unfaithful old men. Because they can be a faithful man who is old, and then his plans, obviously it's not to go for girls, at least people who are mature at the right age and marry. So the situation now calls for why is this happening in terms of girls going for married men instead of sticking to their school? At least at the moment we are hearing, if it's a girl, you go for free education. If you're at university and you think you are lacking in certain things, bursaries are there and meal allowances are there. But for the message to come from the head of state, it's a good message for at least they are able to ask, or mothers are able to ask, are you going out with a married man, an older married man? And I think the girl child is able to say, no, the president even advised. So it's a good message at Youth Day. And we have seen various newspapers report differently in terms of they would pick on Misepela, and the others will pick on something else. So it's a good headline. Talking about the mines, I did talk about the UPND have launched so many programs, but I think what lacks is maybe monitoring and the evaluation. So the content, local content, if it shouldn't come from the suppliers to just complain about some mines frustrating in terms of local content. But even in the local content, one of the provision is that mines should make it a priority that Zambians are the first to be employed, which calls for the Ministry of Labor to inspect and look at some of these things. How are the programs being implemented? So that Zambians tabalewashinga febata. That is, we have embraced the local content, but we are not implementing it in terms of when they go in their boardrooms. The other thing, it's in terms of suppliers. There's a lot of products which it can be supplied locally to the mines. I'll give you an example of supply of food to miners, because there was a time that I visited KCM. If it's a foreign company which is supplying just eggs and things to eat, then the money is not going to the locals. But what should happen is that Zambians should have the ability to supply these things so that they can benefit from the local content statutory instrument. When you look at in Kanduluo, is it talking about we don't sacrifice ourselves over politics? It's a good declaration. But even in politics, whether she's being truthful or not, only Zambians can judge. But there should be a mixture always in terms of political settings. Both the new and the old should gel in politics, so that the old ones hand over power to the young ones, instead of people seeing the same old faces of who were in MMD, went into PF, some of them during Kaunda government were there. So it's important that power is or leadership is passed on to the next generation. Yeah.
So that is the Diggers newspaper. Let's quickly run through the other papers that we have for you this particular afternoon. This is the Times of Zambia newspaper. Now the Times leads with the story, Imisepela, HH prods youth to explore a newly established government job opportunities exchange hub. That's the lead story in the Times of Zambia newspaper for today. Remember that you can pick on any of these particular stories and share with us what your thoughts are on the number 0979958392. Now, the other stories in the Times of Zambia newspaper, Zambia wins Top Africa Award, is another story that is making the headlines. Illicit brew kills 4 in Kabompo as 6 others battle for their lives in hospital, is another story that is making the headlines. Be patient. I will answer. HH, I think, assures Northwestern Chiefs. It's another story there that is making the headlines. The other stories in the Times of Zambia newspaper for today. US NGO donates 10 million United States dollars drugs to rural clinics. That's another story there that is making the headlines. Dwindling Mpulungu fish put firms out of business is another story. And in on the back page of the Times of Zambia, we will tie up the gaps. That's another story there that is headlining in the Times of Zambia and from the back page. A quick look at the other papers that we have this particular afternoon. Remember that you can pick on any of those particular papers and share with us what your thoughts are on the number 0979-958392. The Daily Revelation newspaper leads with a story, no one should exceed 20,000 kwacha monthly if contributing Sangwa. That's the lead story. It goes on to say our campaign relies entirely on voluntary contributions from Zambians. It's the lead story in the Daily Revelation newspaper. So you can tell us what your thoughts are on that story on the number 0979-958392. Let's move and quickly have a look at the other papers that we have for you this particular afternoon. Remember that you can pick a story and share with us what your thoughts are on the number 0979-958392 via text message. We will soon be opening our phone lines. Lekeni Umulanda HH Ateke Mwetwa declares that President Hakainde Hichilema cannot be uprooted from power because the opposition is disorganized with zero chance of defeating the head of state. Says the continued disunity in the PF is not surprising because the former ruling party is governed by indiscipline and chaos. That's the lead story in the Daily Revelation newspaper. Other stories that are headlining in the Daily Revelation: Morgan Ngona in double jeopardy as court rejects attempt to freeze ruling. It's another story there that is making the headlines. The other story in the Daily Nation: Lubinda accuses ECL movement of betraying Lungu legacy. Is another story. Vote for continuity in August polls. HH urges youths. Is another story that is making the headlines. UPND should hold convention to prove its democratic. Piri says the ruling party has compelled opposition political parties to hold their conventions, yet the ruling party is willing to breach its own constitution and that of the republic. It's another story there that is making a headline in the Daily Nation. Those are stories that are in the Daily Nation this afternoon. You can pick any of those particular stories and share with us what your thoughts are. Let's move and look at the Mass newspaper. It says Sot Sana is poison rather. Abandoning a body will pay slogan, sign of failure, says Silumbe. That's a lead story in the Mass newspaper. Other stories: let's not vote with stomachs. Membe reminds youth of failed promises. State House denies sponsoring Kasune Oster. Is another story. Those are the stories that are making the headlines in the Mass newspaper for this afternoon. So those are the papers that we have. That's a Daily Mail newspaper. And now the Daily Mail leads with a story. HH launches Imisepela digital platform will connect youth to job opportunities, skills, training, and partnership. That's a lead story in the Daily Mail newspaper. Other stories: AU hails Zambia's democracy, is another story that is making headlines. The other one says, say no to sugar daddies, Bali tells girls. Is another story that is in the Daily Mail. Avoid violence, vote wisely, Mwetwa. That's another story that is on the front page of the Daily Mail newspaper. To lay claim to Chitambo throne. That's another story in the Daily Mail newspaper. Those are stories that are in the Daily Mail. And you can pick on any of those particular stories and share with us what your thoughts are via text message. The number is 0979-958392. Let us know what your thoughts are on those stories that we've just shared with you. Mr. Chomba, those are the papers that we have. What's your quick thought?
When you have a headline like Imisepela, you see it attracts people because what are they talking about? You grab the attention of the reader. So that is what the Times of Zambia wanted to do. I'm sure in offices, those who have never heard about Imisepela, would be asking, I know Imisepela is the youth, but what is this in the newspapers? And then people will be applying, people can get internship, can get jobs from the same app. Those techniques of reporting about the paper. So both the Times of Zambia and the Daily Mail are leading almost the same story. The Daily Mail thought, let's add the HH launches as our banner headline in the newspaper. So if there are people who have never heard about Imisepela, people are actually must have bought the newspaper to understand what is the context of this headline of Imisepela. But Imisepela is what us in Bembas we call Imisepela, the youth, and because of the Youth Day which was there. Now the youth shouldn't be above 35. People should be encouraged so that those who are below 35 can actually look through these things, even if the elderly like ourselves can look through, but we pass on the message to the young ones and say, there are opportunities in this. But sometimes, like I said just a few minutes ago, it's the monitoring and evaluation of some of these programs. I'll give an example of ZNS. The only thing that I've heard is there is another recruitment, but we haven't looked at the graduates from the first program. What is it that they are doing? Because I think it's each constituency did provide one person to be trained, and the president volunteered to train, to sponsor some of the people who went to ZNS. But just like in Imisepela, after some time, people should be asking, so how many got jobs through the app? How many went for internship? What are the requirements, for example, from the students if they go for internship? Were they looking for a pay, or was that company able to provide that pay? Or did that company provide where this person can sit from? So it's a big program in terms of going forward. But all those, and people should not wait for the president. The president has done his job by launching the same Imisepela. But it's the people who are down there who are writing. That is people in the secretariat, which can be cabinet office, in terms of, if in government we did receive Imisepela, what would happen? Would there be a pay? If it's the private sector, how are they coordinating? So these are the programs, when you make an announcement, should be followed up by officials below the president. What is the implementation plan and what are the benefits? Because if the people who are going to go for internship will be coming and asking money from their fathers and mothers, then it's like you get money from the parents to sponsor the child. But if the companies which are looking for interns are able to provide certain resources to enable this Imisepela to be happy, then the program will be a success. But let's wait and see what happens next.
Let's quickly now have a look at some of the text messages that have come through on the number 0979958392. And remember that a little later on, we are going to be opening the phone lines to get to hear what your thoughts are on the issues that we are discussing this particular afternoon. So some of the text messages: listening, watching and following the program carefully. Banda, a King's Lukulu land of plenty. Thank you very much, Mr. Banda. We appreciate your text message. We continue with the text messages that have come through on the number 0979958392. This one says, yet it's the beginning of unity in the opposition. There's no name to it, but we appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming through. We appreciate your text message. We move on, 0979-958392. Very, very shortly, we are going to be opening the phone lines to get to hear your thoughts. Good afternoon, conversation at 1. The opposition can't unite. Pamodzi and Tonse are the same words. Pamodzi is together and Tonse is together. Total confusion. This Pamodzi alliance has come to finish politically. BM8 FDD have a president in the name of Chifu Lubinda. Chirundu is following Solo. Thank you very much, Solo. We appreciate your contribution. We appreciate the fact that Chirundu is watching this afternoon. 0979-958392 is the number if you want to send a text message. We continue to go through them. Good afternoon, Sir George. When we say the man for the youths, the woman, the vulnerable, the needy in society, this is the president. All these other groups hovering like swarms of bees just want to go into State House, thereafter release their fellow criminals from prisons, and the ugly face of PF resurface. But I can tell you, even God shall never allow them. Samuel Lusaka. Thank you very much, Samuel. We appreciate your text message. We appreciate your contribution this afternoon. We are still going through your text messages on 0979-958392. No opposition in Zambia, only comedians. Opposition, Kuwina, Mudala, Uyoseluga Jesu. Interpret to Mr. Chomba, Mr. Hamfuti in Choma. Thank you very much, Mr. Hamfuti. Who is basically saying for the any oppositions to win, God will, Jesus will come down.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. We continue with the text messages. Can those people in such confusions rule us properly once voted in power? Thank you very much. We appreciate for your text message. There's no name to it, but we appreciate it. 0979-958392. We give it another text message or two, then we can open the phone lines to allow you to give us your thoughts on the number 0979-958392. That's the number you are using if you want to get in touch with us. Good afternoon, Crown TV. I don't think so. If anything, it will bring more confusions to the already confused alliances. I see Nundwe there, who won Chawama under FDD. Tonse Alliance recently, Tonse Alliance, or under the Tonse Alliance recently, FDD endorsed Mundubide as presidential candidate. Now I wonder what he is doing in PF Pamodzi Alliance. What a confusion. Blaze in Mazabuga. Thank you very much, Blaze. We appreciate your text message. We appreciate your contribution this afternoon. We continue with the text messages. Itawaite, Tiende Pamodzi, Ntonse, Savanana, Party, Kaufera Luna, Alliance. These are PF members just wanting to remove UPND Sotsana, Zambia. Thank you very much. There's no name to that, but we appreciate it. We appreciate your contribution. Text messages continue coming as on 0979-958392. That's the number you are using. As much as we appreciate the Lubinda move in PF, let them move fast to pick on a presidential candidate. But looking at the upfront, there's a lot of doubt that they will manage. All are power hungry. Let's wait and see. Larry in Kaprimposhi. Thank you very much, Larry. We appreciate your text message. 0979-958392 is the number if you want to get in touch. Good afternoon. I feel Mr. Given Lubinda can manage, looking at how he has been networking with others, especially that he's steady and focused. Mrs. Mwale in Kitwe. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mwale. We appreciate your text message. We appreciate your contribution. We're happy to note that Kitwe is watching. 0979-958392. Good afternoon, Crown TV. Lubinda's PF Pamodzi Alliance is the only way to go for the opposition. The rest, kuwaya waya fie. Thank you very much. We appreciate your text message. We appreciate your contribution, though there's no name to it, but we appreciate it. Alliances will yield nothing this August. I advise them to bank on 2026. CS from Katete, incoming political analyst. Thank you very much, political analyst CS. We appreciate your contribution. 0979-958-392. The academy is headed by failed selfish leaders with Lubinda. All he wants is to lead. Ask him what did he forget to do when he was in government. Trice OM. Thank you very much, Trice. We appreciate your text message. You appreciate your contribution. This one says Zambians have lost hope in all PF factions because their canoe is at the bottom of the river. It is a sign of lack of good leadership and are giving a walkover victory to HH. PF will never come back to bring violence and stop free education. Collins in Mongo. Thank you very much, Collins. We appreciate your text message. We appreciate that Mongo is watching. We are witnessing a high level of political jokers in Zambia. Too many alliances which are not giving hope to Zambians. Danny Banda from Mpika. Thank you very much, Danny. We appreciate that Mpika is watching this afternoon. 0979-958-392. The other text messages that have come through. Vankandu, if you don't have what to say, better keep quiet. What about those who fought independence? Where do you put Tembankandu? If you don't have what to say, where do you put them? Vankandu. If you don't have what to say, better keep quiet. What about those who fought independence? Where do you put them? Okay, thank you very much. That's I think a text that was sent twice, but I appreciate it. Thank you for coming through. There's no name to it. Good afternoon, panel. Given Lubinda cannot unite the opposition, there is no tolerance in most opposition political parties. Anthony Nyemba Nkata Chipiri. Thank you very much, Mr. Nkata. We appreciate. We're grateful to note that Chipiri is also watching the conversation at 1. Boma Kokwa and Sir George. In Zambia, we say a snake is a snake no matter it removes its skin. So, PF is PF. Even if they call Pamodzi or Tonse, it's still Panga family. Mr. Haguta in Makeni, Lusaka. Thank you very much, Mr. Haguta. We appreciate it. We appreciate your contribution. We appreciate your text message. We move on. No one has the courage to influence a convention in UPND. They are all cowards. Mapalo, Ketike. Thank you very much, Mapalo. I believe that's Kitwe. We are happy that Kitwe is watching. Good afternoon, Bakozi and Sachomba. The alliance not unite for a noble cause. Never they are just too selfish for leadership. They have nothing to tell the people what they will do. Pamodzi alliance is non-starter. Zambia chose between the one who is working or the one who wants to remove the one who is already working. And also, I am just hoping that Kalulushi is considered and then Tambishi be made into a constituency. It's been long overdue. Mr. M. Silavwe in Tambishi. Thank you very much, Mr. Silavwe. We appreciate your text message. We appreciate your contribution. We do hope that this submission was put through during those meetings, delimitation meetings. Good afternoon, panel. As for me, again, I can say the formation of a PF Pamodzi Alliance is out of frustration of which it will take them nowhere. When I look at them, no one is capable, only jokes of the year. Senior citizen from Kafiwe. Thank you very much, senior citizen. We appreciate that Kafiwe is watching. Those are some of the text messages that have come through. Others, good afternoon, Sarkozy and Sir George. Yes, ECL and Maos are responsible for PF demise. They formed UKA rather, abandoned and formed Tonse, then came Woza, now Tiende Pamodzi, same people forming factions all the time. Why? Only God knows what's next. Kima Swabiruli, Bosililo Maswabi. Thank you very much. We appreciate We appreciate your text message. We appreciate your contribution. We appreciate the fact that you are watching. Mwe bantu wa mulungu katwile mwe bantu wa mulungu katwile gulya nsima swe. We refuse to be ruled by that Pamodzi confusion, Tonse confusion, or whatever confusion. We are more than safe with the current leadership. Long live Bali, long live President HH. Thank you very much. We appreciate your text message, though there's no name to it, but we still appreciate your text message. Those are some of the text messages that have come through on the number 0979 958 and now, Mr. Chomba, do you have a quick response or a quick word as regards some of the text messages that have come through before we get to the phone calls?
I think the Constitution of Zambia allows the freedom of association. Those who are coming together as alliances are free if they agree with the various manifestos, or they are able to at least work around those manifestos. Those who would like to go it alone, they are also free. The ultimate judge is obviously the voter, and we are heading towards that August election, which should allow people to go for nomination in May, and then campaign in 90 days and come up with programs so that people make a decision. So let's wait and see. We are very close to nomination. Yeah.
0979-958-392. We are now opening the phone lines. Remember that when you call, you reduce the volume on your TV set so that we can communicate without any difficulties. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Machoma.
Bwino banda, mulibwanji?
Bwino.
Ya ipitirizani?
Jafuna kutitika mbeko hapa. Nkani ya mayosi. Odi mayosi hawa. Wasa puzira. Hawa ikaku. Ndizoona vintu vose we are balancing. Wasa kondesanga kutu vizungu yai. Abantu wasa puzira ndiye vambiri maningi. Muwaika kuti. Muwaika pati. Bozi ya mkundu kamba jabendo. Bodi mna wale mbako nship. Wasa puzira. Tuna wale mbeko. Nende sama uyuba murusaka. Example ilibu murusaka. Wende sama uyuba wasa puzira. Bata amena wasa puzira ama kufotela hali kuti mkarepa mpa. Kati jite consider wandu wasa puzira. Wapasa ngoni zishito. Kuti waja vantu kukomenti ruyenda uku vakuvotereni kero waja vantu valuvutika chabi musaka sasa ndiye majangi vambiri Mwachomba mweziona mwamvera waja vantu wasapunzira waja mayana kuvoterani waja ndiye majangi maningi murusaka onani vantu vatenda uradere majangi vantu wasapunzira muri benshito murusaka mzambia muri benshito osakona manamiza vantu boza ngati muri nshito vantu wasapunzira ni vambiri maningi pa ground ndiye mayusi vambiri maningi muwapasa nshito bwani inshito kwanje benengu apa aliyeze mundu ngati musakena kwa upunzira nanga yaba wosapunzira muwapereke kuti tiye ntuone tika consider mamjangu mjangu tipeze honorable tipeze mamjangu mjangu kuti wosapunzira nshito zanu nizi ibo wopunzira ko grand koni imbalancing izibalance vindu kushemushi sebenza libula ziko kwambiri
we appreciate your contribution. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Kindly ensure that you reduce the volume on your TV set before you call us. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Griffin Kahona.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, thanks so much. Good afternoon, the panel there.
Good afternoon.
George.
Good afternoon.
Yes, it's just unfortunate that we're in this situation because we're expecting a formidable team in opposition who are supposed to give serious checks and balances. But it's very unfortunate that the so-called mighty or the big opposition party has misbehaved and we are just watching at them. But there is nothing that we can do because that is who they are. And concerning the question as to whether given Lubinda can manage to organize, he can't because he has been on the helm of leadership in that opposition political party from 2021 up to date, and they have failed to manage themselves. they have failed to pick up a leader who is supposed to contest in the next election. So even if they come up with so many alliances, they are going nowhere. That is what I can say, and that is what I'm seeing. They are going nowhere. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your contribution.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Oh my goodness. Hello. Can they try and call us back? Your line is terribly bad. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Very well, thanks. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is a concerning citizen calling from Southern Province, Kalomo.
Please go ahead, sir.
I just want to say about Mr. Given Lubinda. Mr. Given Lubinda, he has been there in PF. But this PF Tiende Pamodzi, Yamene Wapanga wa Lubinda, I think leadership tumaona muntu amene achita guide. Me, my advice kuri ba Lubinda, sebe bankala chabe mweme wanabasiyira not bambota contest na beve as a presidential candidate. Bachita unite PF. Bonse babwele Pamodzi. If they want to win, umukawana benze mululing banaluza. Now papa me wambo pasa ma confusions. Do you think that wanga win sure? Wena mauza abo wena ndani wonse benze ndio banaleta na ma problem yamene balubinda wapeze kama monse. That's why sometimes muona na mundubire apanga ko sense kupita yamene bapanga balubinda. So my advice is babwelele cheponse Pamodzi. Batoke mu mulesi balubinda but coordinate bonse babweze Pamodzi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming through. We appreciate your contribution. Hello? Hello? Oh my goodness. Your line is terribly bad. Kindly call us again. Let's speak another one. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Philemon from Chitulika, Zambia. Hello?
Please go ahead, Mr. Philemon. We can hear you.
Thank you. According to the question you have asked, can Given Lubinda's PF Pamodzi alliance unite the opposition? No, they can't. People have lost confidence. The good part of Zambians is when a party loses, like the way they are Given Lubinda lost, they cannot go back to them because they know my weaknesses. They know the problem which they caused. Mr. Moderator, do you know that the problems we are passing through, the issue of load shedding, high cost of living, the rule of law was completely raped. Because of these leaders, people are saying you are very rape. So on that platform, it is very difficult to convince a well-meaning, not at ordinary Zambia, a well-meaning Zambian who passed through those problems. So no matter what, how many alliances they can form Given Lubinda, they cannot unite this opposition. This opposition have lost track. When they are given a rally, instead of giving out a substance, they are busy insulting. Look the way Membe, out of all the things people are expecting as the alternative, they were insulting the head of state. Do you think these people can be can get united? Nothing. So even if Lubinda can come up with this Pamodzi, that also is just one and the same. They cannot unite the opposition. This opposition that we have is completely divided because they have got nothing to offer. Why? Because the new John government, all the promises, 98% has been done. So they have got nothing to say. That's why you are seeing that these confusions keep on recurring. Not until they join, they come into UPND, we work together. Then Zambians who agree with them. May God bless the nation. May God bless you, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your contribution. Hello, good afternoon. Kindly reduce the volume on your TV set before you call us. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Let's bring in another one. Hello, good afternoon. Oh my goodness. This line has just failed us today. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Hello.
Your name and where you are calling us from?
I'm Suza from Kita. How are you, Panel?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Please go ahead, sir.
Can given Lubinda and the Pamodzi Alliance unite the opposition? The answer is no, they can't. You know what? In short, these alliances and the opposition at all, they are just what from Zambia and pretty poor in short. But we know them very well. They can't. We are just selfish people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your contribution. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Let's bring in another one. Hello, good afternoon.
Oh.
Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Kitwe. I'm Margarito Chungu.
Mr. Chungu, please go ahead and give us your contribution.
Yeah. Ndeta sana abo mulinabo balero ndolola bwino sana. Umuntu bamufira sekukyalera ngati yali kwatamani. Abakapingula abena Zambia keifwe individual. Abena Zambia bakalanda. Ndala yotwalirire. Yinkukutira sana esho lero ndolola.
Twatasha mkwai.
Sana nabo bonse abalensabayira kumva kyatu yalensabayira bamona political party yabo tabaana convention nabo abaleyako kimono kwe bati wasanga omuntu aleeri obwali kuliko oleeri obwali nakatapa ero nawo oshireerya uleesuusho uleerya ati yo imwe tamuleerya bwino kwena nishikulya mano muliwe awe so mdala nakutasha sana utwalire na program yenu ayi
Twatasha mkwa. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, mwabombeni mkwai.
Mkwai, niwa nani mletu mina kuisa?
Abani bana magi kukawo makulwa mpa kuno.
Wana magi, please go ahead.
Bachomba weso.
Mkwai.
Mwalishi wefintu fimo. Umufyashi ndapwa. Tamufise ndere bwino fila leto obutipo pa family. Aba banesu ba PF bali tipo baleke fie. Hello?
Mkwai.
Bali tipo. Wezintu fimo kufile katenda fyakana mwaesho okutera bolo muno. Mufire mwasireka mwarekerera kwabenga kwanisha. Noti balubinda bayoko bamundubire bayoko arabafireke ko fenda nasikana nishinasikana. Totera mbombe wino mkwai.
Totera mkwai. We bring in two more calls. Hello, good afternoon. Oh my goodness. We try another caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Mwabomben.
Mkwai Mwabomben. Hello? Hello?
Opposition. One party state. Strong democracy is why we have a strong opposition. Number in we are not supposed to fight. We are all Zambians. We have a focus first for Chairman. No later, I first to Italy. That's why I'm looking for a sanitary.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your contribution. Mr. Tomba, our time is up. We need to go. But before we do, what are your concluding remarks?
Mr. Lubinda is a very experienced politician, and he has worked in government as a minister, worked as a member of parliament. If he wins the PF faction as a presidential candidate, the only advice I can give him is don't hold a gun where whichever member makes a mistake, the only thing. Those who have gone associated with other political parties, you can go. You have resigned or you have expelled yourself. That doesn't bring unity in a political party. But he has his own style of managing the organization. If he believes that's the way to unite the opposition, then he can go ahead. But if he believes that sometimes you go in a four-cornered room and cancel some of the opposition political parties so that you move together, then he can listen to me a little bit, because I'm not a politician, but just offering advice. Yeah.
That is it. That's all the program could accommodate. Don't forget to join us again next week, Monday, at exactly 13, when we come to you with another interesting program. On behalf of the entire production team, thank you very much for joining us. Continue watching Crown TV. Bye-bye.